Gotten all your points from the line?
I'm not sure. I gotta check it, but I was just fortunate enough to be able to hit my free throws, and my teammates took care of the rest.
When you have a game like this where you know the opponent fouls a lot, is it a matter of like just knowing that you're going to get contact and just trying to play through it, or what?
Yeah, just trying to play through it. Not depending on the ref to call a foul or anything. Just trying to block that out, and I gotta finish some of those and turn them in the N1. So.
Great, Jake, you said all you're taking what they're giving you. I mean, was that the case early, where you knew you could get to the line and pick up some fouls?
We knew we were gonna be aggressive. That's what they hang their hat on, steals and just amping up on defense. So just trying to get to the basket and make layups, and just happen to be at the free throw line.
Felt like you found your stride offensively in the last couple games?
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get more comfortable. Just learning after the bets like JB and Deli and them, and coach just believing in me, my teammates believing in me. So I feel like it's just confidence. Honestly, I'm starting to get it.
Can you talk about that confidence? Where does it come from? Because the last 4 or 5 games, it's kind of.
I feel like it just comes from like I said, like teammates just trusting me, just putting in extra work outside of like practice. And, just honestly, if I miss a few shots, I know that they're going to live and die with, the shots I shoot.
Jaden, what have you seen out of him in the last couple games and just that confidence that he's talking about?
Just being the elite guard he is, He's a great player, and coming out of high school, everybody knew that. And, his first couple games, we played UConn and all those other games. So the other freshmen were able to get their feet wet with some kind of easier games. But he was thrown in the fire right away, and I knew he was going to get better from there, and he still has a way more to go. So excited for his journey.
As guards on the team, you guys are an extension of Tommy Lloyd on the floor. What would you be overcritical about tonight?
I feel like just the turnovers that we had. I feel like myself included, mainly is just ill-advised turnovers. Rebound, getting the ball tipped, throwing ahead, just late passes. I feel like I got to get better at that, and then. If I don't have my turnovers, I feel like my teammates don't get theirs because a domino effect, honestly.
Was it also a case where you had to be patient and you kind of knew that was going to come, just whenever it came?
Yeah. Even just JB, for example, UConn, I had 4 points, but he talked to me. He's like, "Yo, don't worry." And I wasn't tripping because we're winning, and that's all that matters. But just knowing that he still believed in me, even though I wasn't playing nearly good or as good as I could have, just shows how much he cares for me, and that means a lot to me.
Jaden, you've seen a lot of college basketball, and you're a leader of a starting lineup with a lot of underclassmen. I believe 4 underclassmen in that starting lineup. You guys haven't had a game where you've come off a big win and then hit a ball and kind of struggled in a game like this one. You guys have been able to keep it steady and even kill. What have you seen out of them that makes that possible, because that's not easy for underclassmen?
Our freshmen, very talented, and they love to compete, on the court, off the court. So that's a good trait for them. Not caring who steps on the floor. They're going to give it 110, and the goal is to win games. So they're doing a great job of that right now.
Speaking of that, Braden, what was it like for you the last couple of days? You come off that big game, big scoring performance. Everybody's talking about you, and then you get in late in the morning on Sunday, and or Sunday morning. How's it been? And how did you turn around?
Honestly, it was just having a small circle, and never getting too high, never getting too low, and just honestly just staying humble, and just you gotta live with the ups and downs. So I feel like that's mainly what I thought about.
What was both you guys' kind of routines the last couple of days? Again, you got in at 3 in the morning or something on Sunday, and then did you guys work out, or you just chill out on Sunday, or how did you turn around?
We had practice Sunday that afternoon, and then went home, came back, got a workout in, and then practice or prep day the next day on Monday, and then we came here for a walkthrough, and then we played.
What do you remember about the 2 games that you guys have played up in Phoenix since you've been here, the crowds and the atmosphere?
Phoenix, the crowd up there, it's crazy. It's pretty much like a home game for us. About to go play a great San Diego State team. So just know we're gonna have the crowd on our side. We still got to come and bring the energy, and do everything it needs to take to win. So.
Speaking of that, you guys came back Sunday. Just following up. How did it feel? Normal? Sunday practice, Monday. I mean, regular prep. Was there any tiredness or lag after Saturday?
feel like, yeah, a little bit. But, like, I feel like all of us, like, have goals of getting to, like, the next level. And I feel like at the next level, it's going to be, like, back-to-backs and, like, on a random month. And I feel like if you want to play at the next level, you got to be able to practice after a game or, like, as soon as you land. So I feel like it's going to help us.
What do you think, Jay, too? You've been through this a lot, obviously, coming back to like turnaround like this.
You know, I just, you know, whatever the coaches say, I know they got our best interests at heart, whether it's practice, they want us to get a rest and all that stuff. So, you know, whatever they say, just got to go with it, and, you know, they got the best interest for us. So.
Last year, you guys got hit with injuries at the beginning of the season, and you know what the future lies for you guys this season. When you see a guy like CD Gay get into the game, what were you guys thinking, and how did you think of his performance?
I mean, I can't see all the practices and stuff that we do, but you know, that's what CD he does. He does that in practice. He's blocking everybody's shot. He's dunking, high energy. So just excited for him to show the world, show McKale, you know, he could do that, and excited for his journey.
Any other questions? Jaden, just since we didn't see it in Alabama, how did you feel? I think you're 2-0 against them now. I mean, and how did it feel to go back there and play and beat them the way you guys did?
You know, just, you know, excited to go back there and, you know, get a win. Obviously, you know, my teammates, my brothers have my back going in there, and, you know, excited that, you know, we played well. You know, Braden, you know, was phenomenal. And, you know, it was just a great team win, and we got to keep building off that.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right, good evening, guys. Let's knock this out.
When you have an opponent like Abilene that fouls as much as they do with their aggressive nature and all that, what's the message to the players? Like, expect this contact? Or?
For sure. You know, Abilene Christian has an identity. You know, they're a scrappy defensive team that's, they do a great job stealing the basketball and, putting pressure on you and, kind of denying some maybe normal passes you would get. So you want to be able to attack that pressure. But, one of the downfalls of the way they play is there's a lot of fouls. They have a high foul rate. So, we don't overthink that. But for sure, we wanted our guys to be strong with the ball. Attack. We were able to get in the bonus early. But we still had 18 turnovers, and that's a credit to them a little bit, and maybe just a little bit of casualness on us that we can definitely tighten up. But I want to give Abilene, some credit. I mean, they're a scrappy program, and those guys played hard, and they've had a lot of success for kind of a newly found Division I program.
Considering this game is in between like Auburn, Alabama, and then San Diego State, having an opponent that has that kind of identity is better than someone
For
that's
sure. I
maybe-
mean, most teams have an identity, and let's not give us enough credit to think that you scheduled Abilene Christian in between here, thinking it's going to prepare us for the next game. It's just kind of how the dates worked out, and but there's no doubt. I mean, we know we're going to have to take a look at where some of those turnovers came from, and tighten some things up a little bit before Saturday.
With what you said about the fouling, did Jaden get in the line 10 times in 11 minutes at the beginning? Did you see that coming?
I mean, I don't know if I had it in my notes before the game that it would happen, but it happened. And Jaden's kind of proficient in getting fouls. He's good at playing downhill. He's good at playing on balance, and that's usually a good recipe for getting a good whistle.
Not specific to tonight, but what have the last 10 games meant for confidence for the team?
Man, hopefully we're starting to establish, who we want to be and what we can be. I really challenged our guys, before the game to kind of hone in on our on-court values and our on-court identity. And, I think it's important to kind of refocus on those things. They can kind of be a beacon, for how we want to play and understanding what's important to us, as opposed to, thinking maybe, this can be a certain game where I can play well or I'm going to get a highlight tonight. We don't want to think like that. We want to honor our values and honor our identity, and that's what we focus on.
Specific to Braden, because he's gotten that confidence in the last few games. Just if you can talk about him with that.
I mean, Braden obviously is a good player, and I'll let his performance do the speaking. And I was never worried, that maybe some people were. I mean, I don't know if they were or not, but I know how good of a player he is, and I trust my judgment. And so he's playing how he's capable of, and I think he can consistently play at this level for an extended period of time.
CD in his development.
Well, I mean, wow, that's a long question. A year from now, I would say first thing, kind of before the Alabama game, I grabbed CD and I told him, I want him to be ready to play in a high level game in 4 weeks. So, CD's gotten off to a slower start here for a variety of reasons. But CD's really talented, and he's a great kid, and he can catch up fast. So I want to get him in catch-up mode right now, physically, just with his strength, his conditioning, his physicality, his IQ and understanding of what we're trying to do. I mean, you can see just his ability out there in some flashes, but, there's obviously, more we need to get to, but let's just have a good day today. And we're going to follow the good day in the weight room tomorrow and a good day of practice, and then we'll just stack. And then we'll periodically poke our head up, from the ditch that he's digging, and we'll see where he's at. But I don't have like a year long plan.
I wonder what you thought of that sequence. You have the block, Donkin, and
I mean, obviously, great play. I mean, he's had some of those plays in practice, and he's really given our big fits, protecting the rim. He's not easy to score over there. He's a great timing on blocking shots, and what I really encouraged him to like a week ago. I'm like, CD, what we were watching you when we were creating you were catching all these alley-oops. I don't even think our team thinks you can catch one. So start showing us, show your teammates, and then let's create some belief in yourself and go. But I like where he's at, tonight, and I'm just looking forward to see what tomorrow brings.
Is he prone to maybe getting too excited sometimes? It seemed like after he did that, then the defense, the guy pulled and hit a three, right? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch that sequence. But he's a young player. He's probably got a lot to learn. But he's a great kid, and you know, I think he's worthwhile for us to put a lot of effort and energy into him. And then he needs to reciprocate with that same effort and energy, and then we'll probably have a winning formula.
You mentioned the kind of honing in, but you've had a bunch of these, but this might be your toughest turnaround as far as big game, coming back, getting in early Sunday morning, turnaround for Tuesday. Were you concerned about that?
I mean, I told our guys this is normal. This is the rhythm we need to get accustomed to. You know, like we had like a football schedule. We played 3 Saturdays in a row. That's not normal. You know, you build in days off and prep time. So we got to get more comfortable. Playing and preparing in tighter windows. And so, that was kind of the focus this week. So I welcome the change of schedule because this is definitely way more realistic than what we've been doing.
Looking ahead to San Diego, I don't know how much you have scouted on them, but just your impressions of the Aztecs.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched really any of them yet this year. I'll start digging into it, I'm sure, tomorrow. But, Coach Dutch, he's done a great job there. I mean, with that program with Coach Fisher before him, I mean, man, it's, they're going on a long run of being very successful. I don't think they're ranked right now, but I want to make sure our guys understand that, just because they don't have a number next to their name doesn't mean they're not as good as the teams we've played already. So our guys need to be locked in and understand that Saturday is a super important game and it's going to be a battle, and we got a ton of respect for San Diego State and their program.
When you have this desire to want to play these games in Phoenix, how much say do you have in the opponent, or is it just you want to get up there and?
Well, I mean, you have to. There has to be an agreed. Both teams have to agree. So I think you get some say because you could say, no, I don't want to play those guys. So yeah, you get some say, and I mean, obviously San Diego State's a program we respect, and when the opportunity came up to play them, it just worked out.
Well, you sprinkled in a little bit of the press. I was just curious your thoughts on how that's working.
Yeah, I mean, we spent some time on it and worked on it. We feel like we got some good pressing lineups, and we want to keep exploring. We don't want to lock ourselves in, maybe just playing one way all the time. And so, yeah, I mean, it honestly was no master plan. It's just kind of how the game started. I think we got a foul or something on the first possession. I'm like, what the heck? Let's just go to our press right now. And then, to be honest with you, I called it one time, and then the guys put themselves in it after that. So, that was kind of player-driven.
And you mentioned about San Diego State. Do you think, they're going to go into the Pac-12 going ahead? I mean, do you anticipate this is a team you're going to maybe continue to have serious?
I mean, I know we're playing them Saturday, and I have no thoughts beyond that. So, I wish I could give you more, but to be honest, I'm just being honest with you, Bruce. I don't got anything beyond that.
What do you think about them and Gonzaga, et cetera, going to the Pac-12 next year?
I mean, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about stuff outside of my, of my reality that I'm living in every day. I'm sure it's exciting for all of them, and I hope it ends up being a great, basketball conference. I think that would be great for the West Coast to kind of, reestablish another strong basketball conference.
Confidence, Tommy. Over the weekend, ADU had a great game on Saturday. He seems like he's more confident as well with his shot, long distance.
Who?
Anthony.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's having a great year for us. There's a few turnover issues today, and we'll have to take a look at those. But listen, Delly's a really important piece. We can't be the team we want to be without Delly being the player he can be. And, there's really no other way to put it. So, I really appreciate what he brings to the table. And, I got a ton of trust and confidence in him. A few turnovers today. But you know what? I really trust that guy, and we'll move on and, figure out if there's a way we can help him. Or in a lot of ways, a guy like him will just probably figure it out on his own, how he can avoid some of those.
All set.
Hey, but I will say, so you guys there's a kind of a fallacy about Arizona basketball there with tickets. So tonight we had a good crowd. So thank you for that. People either think the tickets are too expensive or they're always sold out. Okay, that's not always true. Okay, not every game is sold out here, and our athletic department's done a great job. They've created kind of some new concepts. I mean, I think there's some tickets on sale for like $13 you can buy online, and there's another thing that we want to start called the Wildcat Walk-Up. And basically what it is, if 60 minutes for a game, if a ticket's not sold, you can buy it for like $13, at the window. So I would encourage our fans to take advantage of that. I think, what we're trying to build here is special. It's rooted in the community. And we want to make our program accessible to every man. So, maybe you don't have the means to buy a season ticket, but if you can go to a movie, you can go to an Arizona basketball game. Okay, so please do that. B, if you have the means, okay, scoop up some of those $13 tickets. Okay, and give them to people that work for you, give them to your friends, give them to your neighbors, and just let's get as many people to enjoy Arizona basketball as possible. This isn't a ploy to make money. This is about getting more people connected with our program, because we know what this program means to this community, and we want to double down on that every step of the way. That's one. And listen, there's 2 games over Christmas. I think, what are they, the 22nd and 29th? Okay, neither of them are sold out. And I think over Christmas break, you got family back in town, come on. Share an evening with Arizona basketball, okay? Then go out to Bob Dobbs or wherever you're going to go and have a great night, okay? So that's 1. 2, we're playing this game in Phoenix because we think it's really important to connect with our fan base up there. And I hope as many people come to that game as possible. We know there's a lot going on around the holidays. We totally respect that, okay? But we want to go up there and we want to connect with our fans, and we have players from that area. Okay, I mean, obviously there's a kid in our roster right now. I think he's number 10. He's pretty important to the community of Phoenix. Okay, so let's get out there. Let's support our program. Let's support our local players and get as many people as we can, Saturday night. And this is what I know. Late Saturday night games in Phoenix can be pretty special. So let's have a ton of fun, and I hope to see everybody out there on Saturday and then at our 2 games over winter break. Thank you.